And I want to address this issue going on with Lavar Ball. And notice I haven't talked about Lavar Ball before because, quite honestly, at first I really didn't pay attention to it. From what I heard about it, it just seemed kind of annoying. But now this whole situation that happened on the Herd, the Colin Cowherd's show, the incident with Kristine Leahy, I believe her name is, the female reporter on the Herd. Now, there's so many ways we can go with this dynamic, and this just illustrates the relationship and how things are and how they have been working in society on a whole bunch of fronts. Now, I want to play this video before I respond to it. I'm going to play some of the interview with Lavar Ball versus Kristine Leahy on the Herd the other day.
Let's get into the shoes. I thought your price point was a little high. How about we make a deal? Why don't you just drop it to about $350?
How about you create your own shoe and you drop it to $350 and see how many people buy it?
Let's take a listen. First of all, I said this on the air. I said, it's easy to pop off, but I used to think there'd never be a $10 million home, and now there's $70 million homes. I never thought I'd pay $5 for a cup of coffee.
Right.
So $300, $400 shoes may sound outrageous, but my argument is if Lonzo kills it in the summer league, if he's 2 games in with 13 assists both nights and he's fun and flashy, we're going to go, that's all it costs? Have you sold any shoes yet?
Yeah, I've sold a good amount to me. Like I said, there's different amounts.
How many?
Stay in your lane.
I'm just curious.
I don't even worry about her over there.
Why not?
She scares me to
kind
death.
of disrespectful.
She said she scares Lonzo. Lonzo's scared of me. She scares me. That's
I'm
why I
scared
don't look
of
that way.
Lonzo?
I don't look over there because she scares me. I'm thinking of Saul right now.
I'm just trying.
Leave me alone. I'll tell you, 400-500 pair.
So she's a reporter. Her job is to
She
probe.
can report to whoever she wants behind her.
I'm
talking to you, Colin.
Well, what is your problem with me?
Hey, my problem is you are a hater.
Why?
I would never wear a big baller shirt. But
No, I
good,
didn't
don't
say
even
that.
talk to me. But I heard you say it. I'm not even worried about
I
it.
said that I wouldn't wear something that
It
as
says
a woman.
big baller. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
With all due respect, you're a great reporter. Just not reporting on me.
I have a right to say what shirt I would and wouldn't wear.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Well,
No,
I think I actually was saying
offensive.
it as like a point.
To
No,
her
I
it
didn't
is.
say no. I
Oh,
didn't
you
say it was
telling on them now.
offensive. I didn't say it was offensive.
Yeah.
I just said, if you want to, work with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, to maybe have something that appeals to women.
I thought that was a legit. I mean, I don't have to agree, but I thought that was a pretty good point.
With her. I don't agree.
But I thought it was a good
No,
point.
I'm
It's a good
actually
point
saying it as
because
like a
y'all
point of
friends.
advice.
I'm not friends with her. I don't even see that. I don't even see it.
I wasn't saying it as like I would never wear this.
What's this show
I'm
about
saying-
again? Ain't we talking about shoes? I don't want to talk about all that. Next.
Well,
I think in order to have a successful company, you're going to have women who like your brand.
Yeah, if you have a women's company. But anyways.
Oh, so you're not marketing to
We're
women.
talking about Big Baller
come
brand.
on, you haven't. You went a little over the top on the MJ
I
comparison.
never went on the MJ. No, that's my opinion. I never went over the top because you say I'm over the top. No. I truly believe, like I said, I can beat him in my heyday one-on-one. Basketball's not one-on-one, but I got enough strength and enough speed to beat him one-on-one. I'm just going to bag you in and do a jumper. There's nothing you can do about it. But the fact that he's won championships, you put him at a different level. There's a lot of people that was like Michael Jordan that can play as good as him, but you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you why. They in the ghetto. They don't study good. They don't get that up here that allows them to go compete on that level. Because you got to have some education. I know some talented guys that jump over cars and dunk, doing the same thing as Michael Jordan, but they got different vices, which wouldn't allow them to go through the school and say, you know what, let me go to college. Some of them try to get in there and they have all this talent, but then they get veered off of doing, liking a lot of girls, hanging out, doing just bad choices. He's a ball player. He is who he is. And like I said, and going back to Whitlock, I don't think he can comment on anything but snacks.
Now,
Wow.
that's a little harsh.
It's going to be harsh because he want to be harsh
So
on me.
you
Guess
disrespect
what?
women and people for their
no,
weight?
that's what you say. I didn't say nothing about no
No,
weight.
you just said that to me.
Like I told her, I'm not even worried about you right now. Keep in your lane.
Can you look
like
me
I
in the
said,
eye?
Whitlock, I don't want to look you in the eye. You scare me to death.
Oh.
Like I said.
Compliment.
Thank you.
Yes, you're scaring me right now. I don't want to look that way. But I'm talking about Whitlock is always coming with this stuff. LeVar needs to bag up. LeVar needs to do that. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, it's a duck. Don't come at me and don't think I'm going to come at you. You have no, where your kids at?
Lavar, initially there was a report that the big dogs, I'm just throwing them out here, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, I may be wrong on one of them, said, no, we're not interested. Will you pursue another meeting with those teams now that Lonzo appears to be headed to Los Angeles?
Now that Lonzo's headed to Los Angeles, what they should have did is gave me $1 billion and let me be on my way.
That's unrealistic. They're not
unrealistic to you.
No, it's
now. You know what? If they want to come talk to me now, it just went up to $3 billion. Triple B's, billion.
But you don't believe that?
No, I do believe that. That's the only way they're gonna come at me. I'm already in the building. I don't need them for nothing. As you can tell.
They wouldn't want to work with you anyway because you don't respect women. So
she's after you today.
Oh, I don't respect women, but I'm the one that's married. I'm good. Well, she can say what she wants. She's trying to put. I never disrespect women, but I tell you what, if you act like that, guess what? Something's coming to you.
Oh,
and it's okay.
Do you think?
Are you threatening me?
Oh, see how she tried to turn the words. I would never threaten you.
You said something's coming to me.
I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychic.
Oh.
Finally, once the Lakers sign him,
yes,
and I think he'll sign fairly quickly. That's my guess. Your son wants to play.
Right, exactly.
Does Dad go away? How close is Dad to the Lakers?
Dad is never going to go away. I'm always going to be his dad. Just like people say, oh, I need to fall back. I don't walk behind my son. I walk on the side of him. So I'm always going to be on the side.
All right. So that was the interview with Lavar Ball on the Herd. And you can see that she was on there obviously trolling them. And the funny thing is, she feels as though she is above reproach, I guess. And just days earlier, she made comments about how he's a bad parent and all that stuff. Now, at first I felt like he's over the top. But I wouldn't say he's a bad parent. He has 3 fucking kids. One in college, about to go to the NBA. One about to go to college. Another one that will eventually go to college. He is getting his children out of the streets and onto the path and trying to become a successful businessman and make his children successful businessmen. I can't hate on that. But here she is talking about this, and now she wants to turn around and play victim like, oh, I don't understand why you have a problem with me. And then all of a sudden she wants to make this whole thing about women. No, I'm not disrespecting all women. I'm disrespecting you because you disrespected me. Well, what you can say and do whatever you want about me, and I'm supposed to just say, oh, okay, thanks a lot, yes ma'am. No, fuck that. And he wasn't having it. He wasn't feeling her. He wasn't trying to talk to her. And, she makes a statement, well, if you want to have a successful product, you have to market to women. Right? You can market to whoever you want to market to. If you want to market to men specifically, they're your core demographic, you can market to that demographic. Right? It doesn't mean women aren't going to buy it or women don't support it. She was just trolling this man, trying to get a response. And then when he do respond, now she is the innocent victim here. And, a lot of men have seen it, but what we cannot get around is the whole dynamic between her being a white woman and him being a black man. Now, he said, oh, you talk about me, you're going to get what's coming to you. And, she went out the way to say, oh, did you hear her voice? Got extra high. Oh, wait a minute. Are you threatening me? As if she had the look on her face, oh, got him. No, damn well he wasn't threatening your ass. And see, this is the problem what we got. And what we cannot really get around. Because with the gender issue, men do have the same problems to a certain extent. And the treatment over men and women. But at the same time, these people will put all of those differences aside for the white race. Alright, we didn't create racism, they created racism. And as long as they come together under that banner of white and keep us divided and trying to stay away from the banner of being black, then they have us divided and conquered. Right? And now she wants to play victim, which is the classic card, especially of white feminists. And the whole time, they don't see the role that they play in helping maintain this. Right? In the history of America, less than 100 years ago, there have been so many black communities destroyed off of the words of white women. So when we get to society where men are dominant over women, when have black men ever been dominant over white women, or black women for that matter? They've always tried to keep black men at the bottom of society. And she doesn't see how this can correlate with incidents like Emmett Till all over. Right now, when the woman's 70, 80 years old, she admits she lied. This girl knows she's full of shit. She conveniently leaves out the part where she questions his parenting skills, trying to say he abused his children. She didn't say it, but she was definitely implying it. What else do you mean when you say your children are scared of you? What else could you mean? And that's why we have to pay attention to these agendas these people have, these feminist agendas, because they use the patriarchy when it's really white men at the top. So I guess you can call it a patriarchy. But all of the things that they go against, it seems to only affect black men. It seems that black men are the only ones getting arrested. Not that they're the only ones getting arrested, but they certainly are at a higher clip for the same things and even for less things. There are people who are in jail doing more time for marijuana and have worse criminal records for marijuana than white kids, white men who rape kids even. And they have less of a criminal record than those people. And now she kind of wants to play innocent as, oh no, I wasn't doing anything. He just went off. I have no problem trash talking and doing all of these things. Just don't disrespect me. Meanwhile, you can say and do and disrespect anybody who you want to disrespect. And by the way, that shit is only in the eye of the beholder. Because to me, he didn't disrespect her. And even if he did, fuck that. Why should I respect somebody who's not respecting me? But for her to quickly shift that into a gender issue, which is crazy because then they get the black feminists on their side who are quick to attack black men also. But we see this all the time. And there's nothing new with this. And at the end of the day, they go back to playing victims as if they did nothing wrong. Because they don't believe that they did. Or, in my opinion, I think that they know what they're doing. They're just trolling you. Trying to get a response out of you so they can say, look, the angry black guy. But, I'm sure there's going to be more to the story because more is happening. You got black hosts over on Fox Sports, coming to her defense, who has been cooning for a pretty long time. But now he's attacking anybody who has anything to say to her because black people ain't putting up with that shit. We know the fucking pattern. Black women have been saying this shit for years about the dynamics between race as well as gender. And we can't stop talking about this while we're in America until white women and black men get the same exact treatment in this society. And LeVar even points that out. Some of the things he pointed out about how there were kids better than Michael Jordan who never made it, that's absolutely true. And when you bring up the reasons why they're in that situation, they say, well, you're blaming the white people, but you can't escape history. How they destroyed our economies time and time again. How they try to pin us against each other time and time again. How they put laws into effect that attack us time and time again that still happen to this day. Now, they're probably going to try to ruin this kid, which ain't going to happen. Right? Now, all you did is get a bunch of supporters for Lavar Ball, especially black people. Because the only ones who I see offended happen to be white. And we cannot let this whole thing with white women off of the hook here. Because they are just as responsible as white men for the way society is and has been. And let's be honest here, the death of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of black people. Not saying that she specifically did anything, but what she's doing is still perpetuating this. You know, even trying to throw shots at him about his shoes, you know. About, oh, they wouldn't want to work with you anyway. Good. We should stop selling our businesses to those white people. We should start recycling our dollars, keeping the black businesses profiting. We should be supporting each other anyway. We shouldn't be making companies and selling back to white people and they continue to own everything. I hope they don't want to work with it. They do got to come with billions. He got the right mindset. And she trying to throw shade, but shit, I hope they don't come back to him. And if they do, they going to have to pay. I feel them. You know, it is what it is. But, you know, I want to hear your opinion on this whole situation. You know, if you think he disrespected her and he was wrong, I want to hear your side of it. How did you come to that conclusion?
Donkey of the Day for Thursday, May 18th goes to Kristine Leahy of Fox Sports 1. Now, yesterday, the revolutionary known as Lavar Ball was on The Herd with Colin Cowherd. And on this show is a young lady named Kristine Leahy. Now, if you look at all the headlines from this appearance, you see things like Lavar Ball under fire for remark to female Fox Sports 1 reporter, or Kristine Leahy responds to Lavar Ball's threatening comments on Fox Sports 1. And what bothers me about this is a lot of people feel like Lavar Ball came in and was so-called disrespectful to Kristine Leahy for no reason. But no. See, a lot of times people see the clap back, but don't see the initial clap that caused the clap back. And this is the case of Lavar Ball versus Kristine Leahy. Let's put it into context. Kristine Leahy has been critical of Lavar Ball in the past, specifically questioning his parenting skills, and even said that Lavar Ball's kids are afraid of him. Let's hear it.
All three sons, you have kids. How rare is it that all three kids want to do the exact same thing? They're being forced to do it. They're being told, you will start basketball at age 6, like Lonzo told us. And whenever you asked him a question, I think he said, 5 words? And he looks terrified whenever he's talking. I asked, have you ever had a disagreement with your father? And he said no. And everyone at this table, we know you at one point or another disagree with your parent, unless you're afraid to disagree with your parent. He looks genuinely afraid. But it's also telling that Lonzo said he wants to stay close to home. Great, if you want to play for the Lakers, I understand that, but it said it's close to home. He doesn't want to leave his father, doesn't want to leave that nest, and that's not going to go over well when you're surrounded by grown men playing in the NBA.
First of all, don't tell me how to parent my kids. That's number one. I run my household the way I want to run my household. Does Kristine Leahy have kids? I don't know if she does or not, but I wonder how she would feel if someone had negative things to say about the way she parents. And I hate how she mistakes respect with fear. LaVar Ball's sons clearly respect their father as they should, and that's why they listen to him. And why wouldn't you listen to the man who raised you? Clearly listening to him got them the way they are now, so why would I stop what's working? Y'all keep asking this young man, Lonzo, to rebel against his father, and I don't understand why. On one hand, you saying it's not enough fathers in their kids' lives, but when the father is in the kids' lives as much as LaVar is, then you say he's doing too much. I don't get it. Now, let's unpack that exchange. I hate how she acted like she didn't know why LaVar was mad at her. You know what you said about that man. Don't be clueless now because he done pulled up. Now, not only did Kristine Leahy play the gender card, she played the race card and didn't even know it. If you was paying attention, you kept hearing LaVar Ball say, Kristine, I don't want to talk to you because you scare me. The reason he kept saying that is because he understands big, scary black man going at little white woman in America never ends well. Top 3 scariest things a black man can hear is, are you threatening me? From a white woman, especially when you're not even threatening her. Kristine Leahy was purposely twisting LaVar Ball's words to demonize him. LaVar Ball totally saw that coming. That's why he kept repeating, I'm scared of you. That was a classic, age-old example of a white woman demonizing a black man. That is the kind of demonizing that black men have been dealing with for years, and Kristine Leahy played that same card yesterday, and that was weak, cheap, and dangerous. Give Kristine Leahy the biggest hee-haw, please.
In 1955, a 21-year-old white woman named Carolyn Bryant claimed that Till made sexual advances toward her. Now, that claim led to Till's kidnapping and death.
Historian Tim Tyson said the woman who made those accusations has broken her silence for the first time to recant her story. What's so shocking is to hear, because we've all heard the gory details, that he whistled at her, that he made a sexual advance towards her, and all these years later, she says what to you?
She said, with respect to the anything, a physical assault on her or anything menacing or sexual, that part isn't true. And
because she claims that he grabbed her by the waist, that he held her, that he wouldn't let her go, that he touched her hand, and she says that is not true.
Right. But, well, touched her hand when they exchanged money for candy.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe so, but I don't know about that.
Had she been living this in a horrific way, knowing that she...
Yeah. Well, she's far from the most important victim in the story, of course, but yeah, she
had not told the truth.
It's obviously been a great burden.
Someone was
and a pain.
Brutally.
She thought about Mamie a lot.
Mamie is Emmett's mother.
She lost Emmett's mother. She lost a son herself later, and she said always thought about Mamie.
So why did she decide finally to make the call?
Well, I can't read her mind. I'm not sure.
Well, you talked to her.
But I did. Yeah, my sense was that she wanted to unburden herself. She also wanted to tell her story. She was, for posterity.
What did she say about Emmett's death and murder?
She said nothing that boy did could ever justify what happened to him.
That's right.
Yeah, they all agree that there was a whistle, that he did whistle.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have. That doesn't justify what was done to him.
They had a harmless exchange. That's
right.
The two white men who were accused of murdering Emmett in 1955, they admitted it later in a magazine interview.
They did.
They were acquitted by an all-white, all-male jury, so they could not be retried. What did she say about them?
One was her husband.
One was her husband. One was her brother-in-law, who she described as being domineering and brutal, and not a kind man. It was, they were not the only people involved in the lynching of Emmett Till. Mm-hmm. There were other family members and a family friend involved. So
things have turned even more ugly, Kristine, in my opinion, via social media. And then also now on what I believe to be the most popular urban hip-hop station, most powerful, Charlemagne the God, did a commentary labeling you the donkey of the day. And this kind of sent me over the top because he went as far as to analogize this to what happened with Emmett Till, and that your suggestion that it came off to you like, is he threatening you? You asked that question. Somehow he analogizes this to Emmett Till. Lavar Ball was inappropriate. I don't think he was so classically inappropriate he needs to be thrown in jail, banned from television or anything like that. But I do think he was dismissive, condescending, came off sexist. And then I could understand why you, in that moment, being treated that way, thought like, hey, man, you threatening me? I totally get it. For Charlemagne the God to use his platform, the most powerful urban hip-hop station in America with a huge following, to throw that kind of heat on you when your intentions weren't malicious at all, your interaction with Lavar Ball wasn't disrespectful at all. For him to throw that kind of heat on you and your family, way out of bounds, to analogize it to Emmett Till, one of the worst tragedies happened in American history, because you questioned the guy in a polite way. Man, are you threatening me? This is ridiculous. And it plays into a racial politics that has gotten out of hand or via social media. Charlemagne, stop it. Cut it out.
Exactly. The unfortunate thing is that this was never supposed to be a war, and it's turned into it. It was never supposed to be a war between me and Lavar, between me and Charlemagne the God, and now it's turned into that. It's not a war on race. It's not a racial discussion. It's not a feminist discussion. It was about respect, purely respect. And, I did ask that question, are you threatening me? Because what he said to me was that I have something coming to me. And if he wanted to have a respectful conversation where he answered me and said, no, of course not, or clarified, it would have been done there. But he continued and said again that I had something coming to me. So in that moment, I don't know how else I can interpret that. Also, I encourage everyone, he has now turned the words to say that I accused him of child abuse. I would encourage everyone to please go watch the clips, which are out there, in full length of me discussing it. I don't need to rehash it now or defend myself. I never accused anyone of child abuse. That is a very, very serious issue, and I would never go there. And to Charlemagne the God, I would love to go on your show. I've actually been a fan of The Breakfast Club. And if we can have a healthy conversation about this and make some good come out of it, let's do it.
Put some respect on your name.
Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on it.